hard.
Don't you
I got
steal my
one
line.
announcement, one more, Godfather. I got to do this
No,
real
no,
quick.
take your time, man.
So what we did is we moved the schedule around. We were trying to just like move it around to make it work. And one of the things that we noticed right away was that in one area, which is Wednesdays, we lost the momentum, we lost the consistency, and we decided, Fred had said, I really want to do this on a weekly basis. And Tiffany and I are both like, absolutely. So we owe you an apology, Fred, first, because, we were trying to just make this better. I know that you don't need that. And for everybody else, we can count on the Godfather on Wednesdays, getting in our hearts, in our heads, in our minds, getting the BS out of our systems, belief systems out of our systems. Yeah, BS out of our systems. Basically, he is a huge enema for bad thinking and bad thought.
I'm going to steal that. I love it.
Steal it. It's all yours, brother. Anyway, to you, Godfather, I turn. Carry on, sir.
Proctologist.
I'm sorry, Fred. I think we just went down a wormhole. And luckily this is recorded, so we're good. Okay, awesome.
Well, for those that have been on, I shared a couple of weeks ago, I'm working on this thing called soulcancer.org. And, the more experience I get, the more I realize is that, our souls are, we all fear the C word, but we really have a soul cancer, all of us. It just is never ceasing. It's amazing. And, without good soulful chemotherapy, that head just wants to roll, man. That head wants to roll, that voice that wants to keep, and I don't think weekly's enough. I don't think Dale is enough. It's actually moment by moment with me. I mean, last night, at 2:00 in the morning, I woke up with a cold sweat. Now, of course, the wine that I had at our event here locally and may have had something to do with it, but anyway, no, it's just, and then right away, my head was, we had a real decent, we were doing local event and, and getting agents together, had 18 that had, or actually 20 that had replied and 18 had really confirmed. And, we had a good showing. We had 14 people for headshots. We called it headshots and happy hour. And of course, right away, the chatter was, why are you doing all this? What, here you did all this, you went through all this energy, and I was focused on the ones that didn't show up, right? The ones that, and then I was focused more on what I was giving. What I was expecting to get versus what I was really giving, right? And that's the ego. That's the ego, right? And then the soul, of course, right away at 2:00 in the morning, I put on Louise Hay and one of my buddies. If it wasn't for Louise Hay, I love Louise Hay, who's now, moved on to higher and better things. But anyway, yeah, it's amazing. How many of you, we got 16 on, had 17, one just left. They must not like what you said, George. Anyway, how many of you have been on for more than a couple of years since I began, or actually it's been 3-4 years now? We started out Soulful Wednesdays. We then called it the spiritual side of success. And so anyway, then I started realizing, George has been around ever since then.
Well, I want to say I actually was here the day you started.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Sorry,
George. Yeah, George is my sponsor. So anyway, but yeah, look, again, I want to remind us, it's not about Fred. I'm here because I get more out of this than I give. And that's the way life works is, a true mastermind. And we don't have this, folks. And I keep bringing it up. I know you may be tired of hearing it, but when's the last time you truly mastermind with, how many are on the call? 17. How many are married? Let me just see. Just shout out or, just raise your hand or something. How many of you are married or you have a you live together with somebody? Okay. All right. When's the last time you really, truly, deeply mastermind with that individual? Not just talk, not just chat, but really, truly mastermind. Now, that has a lot to do with being silent. one of the greatest practices is being silent. And, it's, Michael, yeah, wow, 22 years. Okay. And when's the last time you really felt you gave something to the other person's mind? And when I say mind, I'm really talking about soul, or really, truly, truly, where there's such a connection of where you're transferring energy, you're transferring power, of really just on a deeper level, a soul level, right? Because we do not practice this mastermind. We move so fast, we're so noisy, we've got everything going. So on Wednesdays, I really want to get everyone involved. Again, it's the alliance of two or more minds working together. And many of you have been on the calls, and thank God for those that participate. And when on the Wednesdays calls, I'm going to try, I might chase everybody off. I don't know, George, I might be down to 3 people, but I'm going to kind of try and get you and insist that you show up with no multitasking, no text messages, no checking your email, that it's really participatory, but really where it's a quiet time. And I'll even get it down to 30, 40 minutes, and then we'll leave and everyone go about their day, because I'd rather have 15 concentrated, 20 concentrated, 30 concentrated minutes of us really sharing deeply together to get what really matters in life. And that's our souls, right? Not our, we're not here to make a living. We're here to live a life, right? And the only thing that feeds the soul is love. And love is time together, right? Love is spending time together, but real, true, purposeful time. So we need perfect harmony, working together in perfect harmony for the attainment of a definite objective. Now, the definite objective is that you be healthier. For me, this is my objective for being here, that you be healthier, that you be happier, that you be wiser, and that you be wealthier. So let me repeat those. Healthier, that's mind, body, soul, that's emotional healthy, more emotionally healthy. We are so unhealthy emotionally. We let things get to us. We think that life is what just happened to us. We think that life is this. We think life is, it's none of that, right? So healthy, you can be a lot healthier emotionally and how you feel, right? Healthier physically, healthier, financially, and every other way healthier. So then happier, we're so dependent upon an external force to make us happy. As long as this goes this way, that goes that way. If I could just figure this out, I'll be happy. It doesn't work that way, folks. It doesn't work that way. So this is all about soulful quietness, getting deep, really taking your time to realize that we are spiritual beings having a human experience, not just the opposite. And most of our energy is spent on our humanity than our eternal, who we really are, right? Success does not come without the cooperation of others. I want to see you be so successful, right? And the only way you do that is first mindset, then will set, and then skill set. If you are not where you want to be business-wise, what held you back? Could somebody give me what, if you're not, let me just stop share a second. If you're not where you want to be, but business-wise, what's the number one thing that held you back? What's the number one thing's holding you back?
Yourself?
Okay, that's general, yeah, but that's true. It's your thinking, right? It's your thoughts have gotten you to where you are today. My thoughts have gotten me where I am today. Good, the bad, the ugly, my family, my crisis, my thoughts have gotten me exactly where I am today. There's just no way around that. And that's why mastermind, the mastermind is so important, because the mastermind, and a mastermind is not someone telling you what to believe, what to feel, what to think. It's to stir up and understand that there's so much there in some other people's minds. So that's what I want to do with this, is really get us to come and really be real, be raw, be authentic, be transparent, be vulnerable, be sharing. If you've got something very successful that you're doing, you need to speak up and share it, right? And then down here, an active alliance of two or more minds in a spirit of perfect harmony for the attainment of a common objective stimulates each mind to a higher degree of courage. To a higher degree of courage, Folks, that's where we fail, is that we do not get quiet enough to increase our courage, right? Which is our heart, because our heart's so picked away at with so many things that go on in life. A higher degree of courage that ordinarily, that ordinarily experienced, and paves the way to the state of mind known as faith. That's why I'm such a avid student of A Course in Miracles. And again, A Course in Miracles is a lot of religious tones and being a lot of Christian tone, but it is, universal theology is impossible, the Course teaches, but a universal love is not only possible, but it's inevitable, because we all have the same love, the same need for love. We have the same love that we give. We know love. You don't have, I don't care what color it is. I don't care. We know what it is, but today's lesson, I can elect to change all thoughts that hurt. I can elect to change all thoughts that hurt. Last week, I talked about two words, deny and debased. We deny ourselves this. Loss is not loss when properly perceived. Pain is impossible. There is no grief with any cause at all. There is no grief with any cause at all. And suffering of any kind is nothing but a dream. You see, issues are inevitable, but suffering is optional. Let me say that again. Issues and problems and situations are inevitable, but suffering is optional. Because you need to let it all teach you. What can I learn from this? That's soulfulness. This is the truth. Okay. It says one more time, there's no grief with any cause at all. And suffering of any kind is nothing but a dream. This is the truth. At first to be but said and then repeated many times. And next to be accepted as but partly true with many reservations. That's what we do. We just keep, only partly believe. Then to be considered seriously more and more, and then finally accepted as truth. I can elect to change all thoughts that hurt. I can elect to change all thoughts that hurt me. I can elect to change all thoughts that hurt. And I would go beyond these words today and pass all reservations and arrive at full acceptance of the truth in them. Father, what you have given cannot hurt. See, God gave you this day, right? God gave you the heart that's beating, universe or the force or the source, whatever you're comfortable calling it. But I say God, I say Father, what you have given cannot hurt. So if I'm hurt, it's of a false belief system, because the true me, the true source, cannot hurt. Father, what you have given cannot hurt. So grief and pain must be impossible. Now, 2 o'clock this morning, when I woke up in a cold sweat, I didn't believe that, but I took control of my thoughts. And then what I did, I realized I could elect to change all my thoughts that seemed to be hurting. Father, what you have given cannot hurt. So grief and pain must be impossible. Let me not fail to trust in you today, accepting but the joyous as your gifts, accepting but joyous as the truth. So it's nothing but pure joy. So what we got to do is, as a mastermind community, is come together on Wednesdays. We were up to about 40, 45. And then when we had to change it, I think it was a little bit of confusion, what have you. But I want to see this thing 50, 70, 80, 100, and then go over into the mind body mastermind community. Because what, we need here, let me share this with you. It's a little long, and then I want to get to where we get sharing. I just want to, I'm kind of giving us the basics, the basis of our Wednesdays calls, and hoping that you invite people, and because I want to get to where we really, really, truly become such a mastermind. So a lot of times we feel broken, right? How many of you feel broken often? How many of you could feel broken? You're doing real good, but then boom, it hits you, and now you're broken again. And this could be on a deal by deal basis. I heard Jill sharing her story that I've heard now 4 times since yesterday. Jill, I'm sorry, I had to do that. No, listen, Fred too. I do the same thing. I repeat the story over and over and over again until I believe, till my ego is real happy, right? So, but what we got to do is not allow ourselves to become broken, right? Because here's the message, okay, that I want to have in this mastermind. It says, oops, this is real small. One sec. I gotta hide my floating controls. Where's my where's my blow it up? Here it is. Okay. Am I broken? Me. Hello, God. This was me at 2:00 this morning. Hello, God. Hello. Me. I'm falling apart. Can you put me back together? God, I'd rather not. Me. Why? Because you're not a puzzle. Me. What about all the pieces of my life that fall to the ground? God, leave them there for a while. They fell for a reason. Let them be there for a while. And then decide if you need to take any of those pieces back. Me. You don't understand. I'm breaking. God. No, you don't understand. You're transcending. You're evolving. You know, Jill mentioned this story, and it's very troublesome when people start accusing you and people start saying you're not competent, because I don't know how many of you were on the call earlier, but Jill was sharing her story, you know, of someone really, and it's embarrassing. They actually went to the broker, blah, 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 just really miserable kind of stuff. But we've got to realize that those things are given to us by divine intelligence, divine integrity, for us to transcend and to evolve. So me, you don't understand I'm breaking. God, no, you don't understand you're transcending, evolving. What you feel are growing pains. You're getting rid of the things and people in your life that are holding you back. The pieces are not falling down. The pieces are being put in place. Relax. Take a deep breath. Right? Take a deep breath and let those things you no longer need fall away. Stop clinging to pieces that are no longer for you. Let them fall. Let them go. Me, once I started doing that, what will I have left? God, only the best pieces of yourself. Me, I'm afraid to change. God, I keep telling you, you're not changing. You're not changing. We all fight change. When someone leaves us, we get upset. Why should we get upset? If they didn't want us, why did we get upset, right? God, I keep telling you, you're not changing. You're becoming. Becoming who? Becoming who I created you to be. A person of light, love, charity, hope, courage, joy, mercy, grace, and compassion. I made you so much more than those shallow pieces, so much greed and fear. Let those things fall off. I love you. Don't change. Become. Don't change. Become. Become who I want you to be, who I created. I'm going to keep telling you this until you remember. Me. There goes another piece. God, yes, let it be like this. Me. So I'm not broken? God, no, you're breaking the darkness like dawn. It's a new day. Become who you really are. And folks, that is the message of, Course in Miracles, is that we need to do everything we can to become who we really are. And as that applies to business, that applies to life, that applies to marriage, that applies to relationship, that applies to sex, that applies to greed. It applies to everything, that we have to finally figure out who we really are. We are beautiful. We are bountiful. We are blissful, right? Joy is never ceasing. It's only ceasing through the things that are not real. So with that, I want to encourage you again, Annabelle, if you could share that PDF in the chat. I'm going to share one more thing here that I thought of this morning. I said, here's what I want everybody to do. I want to get them back into Independence Day. I know it's not July the 4th, but let me, I did this for July the 4th. A thought for Independence Day. What if you could break free from yourself, be independent from self? What if you could live without limits? What if you could stop believing that lie of why me and exchange it for why not me? What if you found out it is only you holding you back? What if you found out that you only had one enemy and one person that hurt you, robs you of peace, yourself. What, see, and Jill, I'm going to, talk about like your situation, how tough that is. Someone accuses you, someone says this, someone calls somebody else on you. How embarrassing. How does that? But it was all just your thoughts. Only your thoughts can hurt, and we can elect to change our thoughts about it, right? You're not being broken, you're being lifted up. What if you could break free from that one you who keeps saying you're not good enough? Who would you be if you did not know who you are? Who would you be if you did not know who you think you are or not? Blessings, my friend. Happy Independence Day. I declare independent from me today. Namaste. Now, folks, I do this stuff daily. I do this stuff moment by moment, and still I wake up at 2:00 in the morning in a cold sweat. Now, what's that about? It is that damn ego. It's that enemy, that one enemy that I still have, that we all have, that ego. And we need to come together as a mastermind community and break that. And what I want to encourage you to do is please take the October challenge. Last week, I asked you to do it. I had maybe the same person commenting, and that is the October challenge in the Mind Body Mastermind. Annabelle, if you put the link in there again, but I'll tell you, this thing has been so helpful for me this month. I've got so much stuff that's going on. Had I not done this October challenge, that, where is my October challenge? I thought I'd have posted as a pinned post. Oh, because I'm looking at it. It's a pinned post in there, I promised you. Oh, here we go. Boom, boom. Anyway, the October challenge is where we take 10 minutes to get quiet. Annabelle, if you'll check it and find out why that wasn't pinned, I don't know. All right, let's see. Where is she? I do everything from body in here. Here we go. Nope. The life of his. Where's my October challenge, Annabelle? It's in here, I promise you. Anyway, the October challenge is, nope, gone too far. I want to open that up. Annabelle, speak up. Where are we? Where's my October challenge? I think she's, Annabelle, you there? Most relevant. Oh, this is why. I'm sorry. Newest activity. Boom. I do this all the time. I get stuck here. I'm sorry. Boom, 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 boom. Not there. Anyway, it's in here. I promise you. Come in and do it. It's a pinned post if you're just logging in. Share the group. Did I lose Annabelle? Speak up. I must have. Okay. Anyway, there's an October challenge in here. Here it is. Nope. That's the mastermind. Here it is. Yay. That's why, because I put it, it's a video. I'm looking. No, but I also put it in writing. Anyway, what it is a, to take 10 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day, and become totally quiet. I actually have a breakdown in here. Oh well. Okay, it's in here. You take 10 minutes a day, you become as quiet as possible. And you just, you then afterwards, you do a journal of your thoughts. I'm really determined to follow that. I'm really determined to find that. Annabelle left me just when I needed her most. You see that? Okay, what's going on here? We'll see it. Okay, I'm not seeing it. My. Okay. But it's to become as quiet as possible. And to, do it when you go in here, you'll see it because it's a pinned post. I know it is. Where's my pinned post? Can anybody help me out here? Am I missing it? Pinned post. Featured. Here it is. I found it. Okay. I am going to put this in the link. So here it is. It's posted October the 2nd, 5:31 a.m. Your inner voice, illusions or reality. That's everything I've been talking about already this morning. Please come in and follow this. Seek, hear, learn. Because if we don't do this, we still can be successful in our business, but it won't last and it won't grow. And every year we should be growing healthier in every area, growing happier in every area, growing wiser in every area, and growing wealthier every year. It should not be a once and then you have to repeat it again because you lose it. So please come in here and take a look at this and become a part of this, the October challenge, and come into the community, because I'd like to have this on a daily basis. So the project for October, dedicate 10 minutes daily to total silence, no distractions, just you and your thoughts. Maintain a journal. I recommend, and you'll see it in the post here, I recommend one that I've been using for such a long time now, Day One. I love it. You could use video, you could use voice. So come in and take this. So maintain a journal, document what your inner voice communicates each day, daily, weekly, or at the end of the month. Could you share your insights into this group? Did you find it to be illusionary or real? How does tuning in affect your daily life? And so we're 460 strong. If every member participates, imagine the collective wisdom of a true mastermind we'd uncover. This is a lot of work, folks. I've been trying so hard to get people to share their minds, because that's how we all thrive and we live. So I challenge each of you not to just to participate, but also encourage one other member to take the journey with us. So come in here. I've got that mastermind for you on a daily basis. I try to get in there at least, daily. I'm going to go back and do the mini course again this month before the end of the month, because it's the 18 lessons, which starts tomorrow. Come in there on a daily basis and participate. So with that, who has something from your mind, your business, good news, something that worked that you didn't think was going to work? Jill was telling the story earlier about that situation where, this broker, Jill's experience, she's just growing in the business, and a co-broke deal where they start complaining and go to the broker and says she's incompetent. Those kind of experiences hurt, right, Jill? How'd that feel? Whoop, did we catch her multitasking? I think we called her multitasking or frozen. Nope, her eyes blinking. Jill, are you there? Okay. So anyways, who can share with us a piece of your, share us a piece of your mind? A piece of your mind. Let's go. Come on, mastermind. We had a good turnout last night with some agents and stuff coming in and seeing each other together and sharing with one another. Why are we all so silent? Let's speak up. Ahas, takeaways.
Fred, I had my orientation today with Agent Hub 360.
Oh, good.
Orientation. Yeah, so that's exciting.
Oh, good. Agent Hub 360. Anybody else on Agent Hub 360? Is anybody else on Agent Hub 360?
I am. Olivia is.
Olivia?
I think Olivia raised her hand for that.
Yeah.
So you on Agent Hub 360?
Yeah, I'm kind of at the same place as Mike.
Okay.
Michael.
That's a good example of a mastermind, folks. Agent Hub 360 is that it's definitely a getting together with other people. What's really good about it, there's a lot of people that fall out of it because it seems like it's way too much in the beginning because you're forced to do the business plan. Annabelle, are you back? I don't know. Somehow I lost her. She may have had a internet issue. I had a link. Let me just see here. Agent Hub 360. Olivia, could you find your link I put in maybe your WhatsApp or somebody's WhatsApp, or Michael, if it's in your old WhatsApp?
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah, because there's a $40 discount. It's $99, but I think it's a $50 discount. So the nice thing about Agent Hub 360 is it truly is a mastermind, and you'll get together with other minds, that will really help you, for sure. Anybody else? How many of you have been on the Mind Body Mastermind, in the Mind Body Mastermind community? Anybody? Speak up. And let's talk about what help me out. What could I do more of to get more community engagement? Now I'm asking for a favor. What could I do? Here, I'm going to put this in the chat again. Wow, what is a tough group this morning? What are you all doing?
Hey, Fred, I can talk.
Thank you, Krista.
Krista, how are you? Good morning. I mean, I've been on the Mind Body Mastermind, but a lot of times we're just, there's so many other, things that we have going on, or I'm in a lot of podcasts when I'm walking, or just Tony Robbins, or I have a session with a coach. So it's like you can be coached out, or instead of actually doing your business. So it's hard for me to figure out which one to do. So I
Yeah.
think it's just a product of having too much information all the time, right? And I think that a lot of us are feeling that way with our business as well.
Good point. I'm glad you brought that up. One of the things I tried to do with Mind Body Mastermind on the Wednesdays, what we called it the Spiritual Side of Success, Soulful Wednesday, is to get where it's the complete person, right? Because one of the things that and you're right, you got to be careful, because you'll get addicted to, just learning because you feel instead of doing, right? So that's one of the things with this, being soulful, is that you're really focusing on the whole person, right? And that where you do get rid of things that are not going to serve you, or not important. So yeah, that's good input. Really, really good input. One of the things I really want to encourage you to do because you're very, very busy, you're a very top agent, is more than ever when you get to those levels, and I'm at that kind of level too with my activities and stuff, is I'll put it this way. I think it was Abraham Lincoln. I may have the presidents wrong, but one of them said, who I think it was one of the presidents, says, "I have so much to do today. Oh my gosh, I must spend 1 extra hour in prayer." So one of the things you want to do is, with that 10-minute October challenge, is really take that and get quiet and listen to the soul, listen to your inner voice, the divine intelligence of divine intelligence, just by being really, really still, because that even then enhances more. I've got a project going on that you're going to really like. I think it's Boca Life, and the amount of hours I've been putting on on that. And when I was working so hard on it, a lot of times I did a lot of stuff I had to undo again, because I didn't go in with mindfulness, right? When I take 10 minutes before I go into it and really meditate first, and you'll hear this from a lot of spiritual advisors, that kind of stuff, is that when you go and you're quiet first, and before you go to see a client, let's say if you're going to go on a listing appointment, and just let the inner voice speak to you and be quiet. That's one of the reasons that Mind Body Mastermind I started, to try to make it more of a soulful mastermind, not just business. And because there's so much business stuff out there, like you said, Tony Robbins. Oh my gosh, I mean, you follow that blueprint, you're done from the business side. But then why do so many people not live it, right? And we know some of them, right? We know some Tony Robbins Tony Robbins junkies, I call them. But yet what happened? Why is it seem like they've got, what I'm talking about, right, Krista? When I say Tony
Yes, I
Robbins,
know who you're
okay.
talking about. Yeah, and I think you can overdo something, but I like for the Mind Body Mastermind. I mean, I do some small meditation on Sunday. I mean, you taught us how to start our week on Sunday and prepare for the week, and have some downtime. So
Yeah.
I do that, but meditating probably, like you said, 10 minutes before a big task or something that you really want to accomplish. That's a good idea. I will put that into place.
Do you or anyone else on the call, do you have a practice of any affirmations? Anybody use affirmations? You know, I
I
have written-
definitely use affirmations
Yeah, yeah.
and I
that's
talk to myself every day.
Mhm. Yeah, good, good. And that, and again, I'll tell you, set your timer and just say, I'm gonna go quiet, go read that thing in the Mind Body Mastermind about the 10-minute quietness. And set your timer for 10 minutes and then go into that silence, really, really inner voice, the silence. And don't entertain a lot of the thoughts. I'll just let go, but really go silent and say, what am I hearing? What is there? And watch what happens after you do that, 3, 4, 5 times. At first, you're going to think, oh my gosh, when's it going to be up? And then you're going to have other voices trying to talk to you, you know, all this stuff. But after a while, you'll get to a point where you have to literally break away because you're going, oh my gosh, I got to now I got to go do something instead of just listen to the inner voice, because the inner voice, I shared last week, the giraffe story and the zebra story, that's on Mind Body Mastermind, that I was very authentic, transparent, and vulnerable when I shared it about my life story with my relationship with my marriage, my now first wife, last wife, roommate, lover, everything else. But anyway, the giraffe, and I was just quiet, and it was amazing. It was amazing that my whole life kind of unveiled in 2 stupid coffee cups. What some people call stupid, one with a giraffe on it, one with a zebra on it. And the freedom that has, how that's been permeating my family right now. And the release of a lot of things that it calls just by being quiet, just by being quiet, and 2 random things appear, right? Because life, sometimes we don't, receive because we're just so busy and we're not quiet. So, all right, super. Thank you for sharing that. And that's so true. So try to narrow down and figure out what's best for you. Olivia, thank you for putting that in there. That's that Agent Help 360. If you use that code, it's a $99. And I encourage you to take that business planning session, at least stick it out with Agent Help 360 long enough to take that business planning module. So you have a business plan to go into 2024, because we're into 2024 right now as real estate people, right? We know that we're into 2024. All right. Anybody else? Any ahas this morning? Any thoughts? Did we get that PDF shared with you? If you want it, I think maybe Annabelle dropped off. You know what? I'll get that posted in Mind Body Mastermind. I don't know what happened. Let's see here. I'll save. I'll put that, the one that am I broken? How many of you, did that resonate with anybody? Am I broken?
Yes,
Who was that? Speaking
Stephanie.
Oh, Stephanie. How did it resonate with you, Steph?
I think apart from personal losses, which was devastating, when I got to a better place, I realized with your words this morning, I could have done with that a long, long time ago. Because you do feel from time to time, pieces are dropping off.
Mm-hmm.
And you're shattered beyond belief. But with help, and I won't go into that, you can, I don't know if it's stupid to say, pick up the pieces or move forward, or you just move through it.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
I could have had those words of wisdom from you. I could have done with that a long, long time ago. It helps figure out where my pieces went.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And don't, yeah, that's a good, and I'm glad you brought that up, where my pieces went. Don't, stay in the present moment. Best time to plant an oak tree or a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is to plant it now. Colonel Sanders, age 65, started a national chain. Grandma Moses did not start painting until, how many of you know the story of Grandma Moses? Did not start painting until she was, 90? I think it was. Just really crazy. So there's those stories. So just get in the now, stay present. I put that in the chat. Am I broken? That poem. For those of you who wanted it. So yeah, stay present, Stephanie. That's the main thing. Don't look backwards. That's a torture chamber. That's a
Yes.
torture chamber.
Yes, yes. I mean, looking back at good memories, yes,
Yeah.
that is very, very empowering. But looking back to sadness and everything, it's a tough nut to crack, Fred.
Yeah. Yeah, spend some time with that Mind Body Mastermind community. Share, there's a lot of the people that I recommend on there. Dr. Joe Dispenza is one that you can get into. He really does a good job in teaching meditation and being quiet and getting that inner voice to speak to you, because, we're here. I don't, boy, if any of us feel that we don't have a purpose bigger than just trying to make a living, and that's feels like sometimes that's all we are here for. Yeah, like, oh, I got to pay the bills. I got to make a living. I got to build my wealth, whatever it is. And, but we've got something to do. Or otherwise we wouldn't be here. Your body wouldn't be useful anymore. So you've got something to do. You've got something that divine intelligence, divine integrity is tapping you. And once you're quiet, again, you won't know. I mean, like this morning, my situation, when I'm going but I just realized I just went quiet. I just went, I practiced that I had control over the thoughts, right? And that I definitely on the thoughts is where it comes down. The situation and circumstances are inevitable. Suffering is optional, right? And that's where the rubber meets the road. And that one lesson from this morning, I can elect to change all thoughts that hurt. I can elect to change all thoughts that hurt. So
Hey, Fred, can I say something about that? And for Stephanie too. Stephanie, like you said, Joe Dispenza, I mean, his YouTube channel, there was a YouTube about, how the mind works, like you said, Fred. And I was going into the past quite a lot. And, he basically revealed to me that when you go into the past, into those painful times, when you lose somebody, I lost a child, and I kept going there, and my body and my mind kept going there. So the mind doesn't know that it didn't happen now. This happened 17 years ago, and I was still feeling all the feelings of 17 years ago in my body because I was letting my mind go there. And it was just horrible because, I would, it was a never ending cycle until I learned that, I can stop that. I can stop my mind from, my mind doesn't know, right? That it felt like it was happening all over again every time I went there. So that was really crippling. And I think, if you find that YouTube of him, Stephanie, it was very, very powerful for me in my journey into healing.
Krista,
Thank you.
wow, good for you. I mean, that is powerful. I mean, that brings in down to practical what the A Course in Miracles lesson was the day, right? Is that, that was powerful. How many of you that was really powerful for you? I can elect to change all thoughts that hurt. And again, a child dying, of which, I share the same experience in 2014, a 36-year-old daughter, is, so, oh, that must be the worst of the worst. Well, what's worse is, like you say, Krista, reliving it over and over again. You let it happen, 1,400 times since then, right? So, and again, we don't own our children. We don't own anything. We're just taking a journey, it really, it's amazing. And Krista, I'm so glad you brought that up, because this brings up the ownership conversation, is that, we have no ownership at all. We have no ownership more than only our thoughts. That's what makes us the creator, right? A part of the creator is that's what we have control over, is our thoughts of creation. Krista just said she was creating it over and over again. Energy flows where focus goes. And it's so easy to do that. So easy to do that. And a lost sale, a lost opportunity, a lost this, a lost that, a lost relationship. So yeah, so the past is a real prison. It's a prison for sure. So Krista, thank you for that. Anybody else jump in on top of what Krista said?
Well, I want to tell you how I was raised by my father. He always in Christmas was making a toast. And the toast was, let's all pray for a good death. And, we were like, come on, Dad, like, this is Christmas. Like, what's wrong with you? Talking about death. And he said, that's the only thing that we have for sure. And, the life that you're given, you have to live it to the most. But you also have to pray to have a good death, because you don't want to see someone suffering. You don't want to suffer yourself. So let's just say a prayer. So that was our Christmas prayer, so, and I don't know, it's powerful because you see death in a different way. Like he was always grateful for the life that we have had. And perhaps that's why I'm optimistic, when I do things, and I always try to see that I'm doing things for a reason, and I'm going to be living things for a reason, and someone else is having a worse time than me, and I'm here to see how I can be better to help that person or to help my family. I don't know, it changed how we saw death in our family.
What a beautiful story, Virginia. Wow. What nationality?
We're from Mexico.
And he would hold up a toast every Christmas.
Every Christmas.
And he would say it again.
Let's pray for all of us to have a good death.
Wow, that's amazing. And I'm sure when he first did that the first time, he was criticized. What are you talking?
We were all like, well, what's going on with you, Dad? And he was just, that's the only thing we have for sure. Like, we have to make sure we are praying for that. So he always prayed for that and for the people that are going to come into our lives. So every morning, I just, when I'm walking, and I learned this from you because I see your videos in the Body Mastermind, when you are showing us nature and the beach and everything. Now and now for you, because of you, I'm bugging my husband. I need to go live in the ocean. So, every morning I'm walking and I am just saying to God every day, is like, thank you, God, for another day. And please send me the people that need to be in my life today so I can be helpful and they can help me as well. So, it's just a prayer, it's something that I say.
That's, Louise Hay. I don't know if you know Louise Hay, but that was one of her biggest affirmations, is that, all things exist that I can help and they can help me. All things exist. All of creation exists to help me and I can help them. Louise Hay is another person, but I really like, how old was your father when his body was no longer useful?
Well, he's still active and he's going strong. He's 85 and 85? He's still jogging, doing his, exercise in the mornings. And
can you get him on a Zoom call one morning?
Oh, I can. They are 2 hours behind, but yes, I will.
Do that one Wednesday, please.
Okay, I'm going to
I would like to talk to him just publicly and ask him, say, share with us where that came from, where that originated from your family. Because what a beautiful toast. I mean, folks, one of the things I do, Virginia, I get criticized all the time, is you always have to bring that up, and I always would say is, hey, listen, 50 years ago, you never thought about that and never bothered you. And especially with my grandkids that are 25, probably 50 years from now, 60 years from now, it's not going to bother you. I always tell people that, in the 50s, I'll ask them, and I always add, if they're 50, I'll say 55 years ago, let me ask you a question. How did this feel 55 years ago? They go, I wasn't born. I go, well, let me ask you a second question. How's this going to feel 55 years from now? What are you going to think about this circumstances right now? Because we give life to these things. What Krista was just talking about, we give life to death, right? We give life to our thoughts. So that's a great toast. I'm looking, what's his name?
Miguel.
Miguel.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah. Bring him on as a guest. That would be great.
I'm gonna ask him. He's 85 and he's 2 hours behind.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, if nothing else, and then maybe I'll do I am gonna try and do a mastermind on the Mind Body Mastermind Community, 11:30, trying to pull, because I have other people that are not in real estate in there right now. So, but anyway, Virginia, that's great. I would love to have him on. That would be fantastic.
Yes, he has never spoken bad about anybody in his life. I have never heard my dad say something bad about anyone.
Wow, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Wow, cool, good. How many siblings were there? How many children?
We are 4.
Four. Yeah,
And
cool.
my parents are gonna be 57 years, of marriage.
Marriage,
you know,
57
November.
years. Cool, really good stuff. All right, that's a great story. Yeah, Krista said great story. I agree. All right, cool. Anybody else? Any last thoughts? Any comments? All right, cool. All right, Tiff, we can do the after party. Hey, Jill, you and I are going to chat afterwards. Good. We're going to get that fixed and turn it into a opportunity.
I just want to say real quick that on the mastermind page said that this call is going to be at 11:30 a.m.
No, I don't. I'm glad you said that. No, that is
I'm confused.
no,
Is that a
it's good.
different
No.
call?
Yeah, no, that's I'm doing that for that page and that community. I'm going to do one every Wednesday, 11:30, to see if I can get other people from the community. That's general. That's not real estate.
Okay.
So yeah, no, you got it this morning. You don't need to be there for that. That's I mean, if you want to, you could be, but that's a different mastermind.
Yeah, because because they changed the calls for Tuesdays and Thursdays. I said, well, might as well. This one is being changed too.
Yeah,
That's
no,
why I'm a little confused.
yeah. I'm glad, Judith, I'm glad you brought that up. Okay, if you saw that, other people might see the same thing. No, George was on earlier and we talked about is that the Wednesdays, we're going to keep it, on the mastermind. We're going to keep the Mind Body Mastermind that we've been doing on Wednesdays. And I'll have some guests. And please, some of you, please come or tell me ahead of time, hey, this Wednesday, I want to speak up. I want to share some things. Ken Markham, I want you to share one day. You got a lot to share with us from what you practice, and your spiritual practice. He melted. There he is there. Good. Last week we called him out.
How you doing, buddy?
Good, man. Share with us one Wednesday. You speak up.
Okay.
Here's a guy who's got a lot of wisdom, and he has a lot of good things to share. All right, cool. All right. Well, thank you all so much. I appreciate you. I'm going to run, and Jill, I'll see you on Zoom. Okay. All right.
Bye.
Ciao.